Have you ever wondered if humans are truly meant to be monogamous? Is being with a single partner for your entire life a dream that we instinctively crave and seek? Or has society and culture programmed our brains to accept this idea as the ideal scenario? With modern civilization's obsession over celebrity marriages and breakups, pop culture's fascination with weddings,
I say yes to the dress! Yeah!
and the vast majority of religions advocating for lifelong union, there is definitely no shortage of peer pressure to tie the knot and, more importantly, keep it tied. But could humans have been brainwashed into creating our modern society and family structure based on marriage and monogamy? Or is there a deeper, innate desire for a soulmate to spend your entire life with? There's no easy answer to this question. Interestingly enough, it's almost as if society is at the pinnacle of this debate. Many feel that the human race finds itself at the proverbial fork in the road of this issue. Will we continue to push the idea of one lifetime partner as a beneficial societal norm? Or will we begin to evolve into a new cultural framework? A decade ago, the thought of such a grandiose modification of our culture would be surreal. However, with the exponential rate at which technology and information available is increasing, such a change is no longer beyond the realms of possibility. It is likely that for better or worse, our species will begin to analyze the data on the pros and cons of monogamy and adjust accordingly. In this video, we will not be advocating for or against marriage and monogamy. We will simply be presenting the facts that are available regarding these concepts being instinctive and genetically programmed, or being a learned and expected behavior. It's also worth noting that even if we deem that monogamy is not hardwired into our brains, it can still turn out to be the most beneficial for us as individuals and society as a whole. There are several other behaviors that are not instinctive and have huge payoffs in life. We'll dig deeper into the possible benefits of monogamy in another video, but for now, let's explore the question, is monogamy natural for humans? Welcome to the Eros channel, your go-to guide for all things love, where we guide you through the complex world of love, relationships, and intimacy. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe by clicking on the icon in the bottom right corner of your screen, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our new great videos. Also, we would love to hear your comments and opinions about the subject of monogamy and whether or not you think it's a natural instinct or a human invention for the benefit of society. And now, let's dive into our subject. Fact number 1, monogamy is rare in nature. Although it does exist, the animal kingdom, of which humans are an obvious part of, does not advocate for monogamy. At some point in your life, you may have seen one of those National Geographic specials or article or social media post about a species of animal that are loyal to each other for life and will only mate with their partner, no matter what. However, this may not have been entirely true. Hopeless romantic spoiler alert here. Many of these animals are only socially monogamous.
Maybe I'll just tell you, I slept with someone. How much really is Cal! Oh my God, Cal!
This means that these animals do form a long-term or lifelong relationship, mate together, and raise their offspring together, but can also occasionally engage in mating with another partner. And yes, even those lovely white swans that form the shape of a heart with their necks fall into this category. It turns out that out of the approximately 5,000 mammals, only 5 to 9% are truly monogamous. Now, whether human beings fall into this small category is up for debate, but the odds are definitely against us. So now that you're armed with the truth, if you need another cute animal to compare your relationship to now that swans are out the window, try the owl monkey. These primates are truly monogamous and mate for life while raising their young. The males are also excellent fathers, responsible for most of the childcare. A recent study revealed that when genetic testing was done on 17 pairs of owl monkeys, there were 0 incidents of infidelity. What 17 human couples do you know that would yield the same results? Even bird species, who were thought to be 90% monogamous, have turned out to be more socially monogamous than sexually monogamous. Several recent studies find eerily similar sexual behaviors between birds and humans. Although most birds do mate for life and pair up to raise their chicks, they almost all have side chicks, no pun intended. In some bird populations, testing revealed that up to 75% of offspring were the result of mating outside of their principal relationship. This brings us to another eerily similar reason for which birds choose to be socially monogamous as do humans. Just like human infants, baby birds are completely helpless for the initial part of their life, therefore requiring two steady parents to protect and ensure their survival. Fact number 2. Jealousy appears to be hardwired. There are several theories that suggest that jealousy is an instinctive emotion. If this holds true, it would further hint that monogamy must also be a natural behavior, as both go hand in hand. A recent study revealed that men are significantly more jealous about sexual infidelity than emotional infidelity. It is possible that this is the result of the fact that men are unable to verify if offspring is truly theirs, before paternity tests were invented, of course. Therefore, men would naturally be genetically programmed to favor monogamy, to ensure to the best of their ability that the offspring is theirs. In other words, the theory is implying that ending up on the Maury show is an unfavorable outcome.
John, you are not the We are gone! We are gone! You will see my lawyer tomorrow morning!
This might seem like a stretch to some, but there are hundreds of human behaviors and evolutionary adaptations that are often the result of a series of problems or challenges that needed to be solved. Jealousy has proven to be a universal emotion and is even present in the animal kingdom. It is one of the strongest emotions that a human can experience, even surpassing love itself. The emotion can be so intense that it can hinder logical thinking and even lead to violence or death. If monogamy is not programmed into our DNA, then why would nature equip our minds with such an acute emotion that plays the role of a bodyguard to monogamy? This seems to be a valid argument, but there definitely exists an opposing side. There are those that argue that just because jealousy is an innate emotion, it does not qualify all property, people, and possessions that we feel jealous about as natural as well. In today's social media dominated world, thousands and thousands of people become green with envy at other people's status, popularity, artificial beauty, and general lifestyle, despite the fact that they couldn't be farther from reality or true rewards of genetic makeup. Proving this theory as valid or invalid may not be possible today, but maybe in the future evolution will act as the tiebreaker and prove once and for all if monogamy is a natural behavior. Fact number 3, humans possess paternal investment. In nature, the species who are completely and unapologetically polygamous show the least paternal involvement. That means once the male has succeeded in spreading his seed, the female is on her own when it comes to raising their offspring. The African lion, for example, is completely polygamous and is one of the worst dads in the animal kingdom.
Uh-oh, someone has some daddy issues.
Any male lion who has recently become the head of his pride will often kill and even eat the cubs of his predecessor. After taking the prize for the worst stepdad in nature, lion dads follow through by becoming the worst biological fathers too.
Daddy didn't love me!
Their number one priority is to spread their seed with as many females as it takes. Once that is done, male lions have zero involvement in the raising of their cubs. The female lions are charged not only with raising their young, but also with doing the vast majority of the hunting. And once the kill is brought home, lion dad eats first, often leaving only scraps for his mate and his offspring, even risking their starvation to feed his belly. And now that we've destroyed your childhood memories of Disney's Lion King, we swing to the other side of the spectrum with the male seahorse. This little guy who happens to be monogamous and mates for life with one partner takes the cake for the best dad in the sea. The male seahorse shows ultimate devotion to his offspring by actually getting pregnant and carrying the babies in his pouch.
I'm pregnant.
For 3 to 4 weeks, Super Dad cares for the fertilized eggs by ensuring that the saline concentration in his pouch is the same as the external seawater. Okay, so human dads aren't there yet, but you could see where we're going with this. Lions and seahorses are only 2 of the several examples that link monogamy to paternal involvement and investment, and polygamy to little to no paternal involvement. In general, if you look at the amount of involvement that human males have with their children, we're definitely more like a seahorse than a lion. Nowadays, fathers have much more involved roles than past generations. Even when fathers were involved in the past, it was thought of as a learned behavior. However, science has proven otherwise. Research shows that men experience significant hormonal changes after becoming a father, just as women do. Testosterone levels decrease and oxytocin levels also change, resulting in a more sensitive and attuned male, better equipped with the patience and caring attitude required to raise a child. Just as impactful, the reduced testosterone allows the dopamine reward from interacting with your child to increase. Furthermore, it creates less desire for searching for another mate. Amazingly, science also shows us that the rough and tough play that fathers and their children engage in is evolutionary. The physical play is packed with lessons about boundaries, their physical limitations, risk assessment, and the complexities of a variety of relationships. Although exceptions exist, this rough and tough play is usually initiated and handled by the father. In general, mothers are usually the primary givers of cuddling time and affection. Although they are very different in nature, studies show that oxytocin levels increase similarly during both of these activities, further proving that each parent has a significant long-term impact on the child. And if nature has worked so hard to plan and delegate such specific activities to each parent, why would it also instill a yearning to find another mate and leave it all behind? Fact number 4. Sexual dimorphism. Another deeply rooted concept that favors the idea that humans are naturally polygamist is sexual dimorphism. Before we go down this rabbit hole, let's define what this term means. Sexual dimorphism is defined as the differences in appearance between males and females of the same species, such as color, shape, size, and structure, that are caused by the inheritance of one or the other sexual pattern in the genetic material. Basically, it means that males and females of the same species look different. The way in which this relates to monogamy is that the species who tend to be the most polygamous have the most evident form of sexual dimorphism. This is because there is more competition in the mate-finding game, and the males as a result have evolved to be bigger, stronger, and more aggressive in comparison to their female counterparts. If we follow this pattern, it strongly suggests that humans are naturally polygamist. Humans definitely fit the bill for having a noticeable sexual dimorphism as a species. Men on average are 20% larger than females in body size, and although this is not as impressive as some of our mammalian relatives, men have even larger skeletal size and bone mass than females. Furthermore, men are clearly more aggressive than females. Worldwide statistics prove that the vast majority of violent crimes are committed by men. And even though men today are not battling each other in the streets over a desired mate, physical appearance, muscle size, and assertiveness are arguably advantageous traits in the conquest of a woman. Fact number 5. Biomaturism. Biomaturism describes a difference in the developmental timing between males and females of the same species. In nature, the animals that lean the farthest to the side of polygamy have a clear and evident biomaturism. Males in the species reach puberty significantly later than females. You get where we're going with this one. Humans clearly fall into this category and therefore, according to this theory, must be naturally polygamous. The reasoning behind this theory is that a polygamous species experiences greater competition when attempting to find a mate and is therefore inherently exposed to more danger. In this dog-eat-dog world, it would be wise to not enter this competition until you have become strong and large enough to hold your own. If the species hadn't evolved in this manner, the males would instinctively begin to court potential females as soon as they were sexually mature, but not necessarily physically mature. Consequently, they would be easily outdone and defeated by the larger, older males. Although this obviously would not be the case in today's modern society, the genetic proof of bimaturism in humans is undeniable and does support this viable theory. Fact number 6. The tendency to be or not be monogamous might be genetic. We are in no way justifying or rationalizing the act of being unfaithful. However, a groundbreaking study out of Sweden suggests that at least to some extent, a man's tendency to be more or less faithful may be hardwired into his brain. The study focuses on vasopressin, a hormone found in the brain of most mammals. The gene that acts as a receptor for this hormone is allele 334. The study revealed that men who carried 1 or 2 copies of a variant of this gene behaved differently in relationships. The men with multiple copies were more likely to have had a relationship crisis in the previous year, and the men who did not have a copy of the variant were statistically linked to having a stronger bond with their partner. Further solidifying the link between this gene and relationships is the fact that when the female partners of the men in the study were questioned, the females who were with the men lacking a copy of the variant reported more satisfaction in their relationship than those married to the men who did have a copy of the gene. In a related study of a group of voles, the gene was found to be directly related to monogamy. Although more studies would be necessary to determine the exact impact of genetics and monogamy, the data gathered clearly displays that whether it's natural or not, as individuals, our instincts can vary significantly. If you've been keeping score, you've most likely noticed that science does not favor the argument that humans are naturally monogamous. However, the verdict is still not out, and even if it's determined that our human instinct is to be a more polygamous society, it doesn't mean it's the better decision for our society or for every individual. There are many things that our brains attempt to save us from that are actually beneficial to our lives. When the brain feels any type of pain, it instinctively sends you a message to stop whatever is causing that pain, even if the source is something positive like exercise. And if you gave in to your brain's desires in this situation, you would never be able to achieve any of your fitness goals. Similarly, if you're up late studying for a big exam, your brain will instinctively tell you to stop and go to sleep. It's the body's way of protecting you from fatigue. But we all know our educational goals would suffer if you took a nap every time you tried to study and felt a little tired. Imagine how different the world would be if people like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk gave in to the primordial wants and needs of their brains every time the going got tough. These individuals had the discipline to stay focused on their goals and were able to reap the benefits of going in the opposite direction of what is considered natural. Perhaps the situation is the same for monogamy. Although there may be some primordial instincts or even genetic characteristics that make monogamy somewhat difficult, the individual decision to remain monogamous might bring benefits far greater than any that would be obtained by giving in to the alternative. Benefits such as the experience of true love and loyalty. Benefits that can only be experienced by couples who are truly dedicated to each other through thick and thin. Benefits like having a partner to be there for you, to learn with you, and to grow with you. Perhaps the answer is to figure out what makes you happy and then create a lifestyle in which that happiness can flourish. For no matter what science or studies or books or YouTube videos tell us, in the end, the only one who can decide what a fulfilling life is you. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. We would love to hear your comments about our video and what you think about monogamy. As always, remember to love yourself first.